Did we cover the 1 month training gap?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, let me go do my intro. Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto had a Rage Kekkei. This is Anime Sensei who's joining me with this what if.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
So yeah, um, this is the max value. Yeah, this is the max value I can do. But yeah, what's it called? So let me do a recap on what happened in the this what if. Since it was a two-parter, and well, because it glitched out, and yeah, it kind of stopped my recording. Whatever. Let me do it. Okay. Yeah. So what happened last? Okay. Let me. Wait. What?
Oh, no, no. Continue. Continue.
Okay. So what happened last time for the recap is, well, Naruto is born. Of course, he got what's called thrown into the curb by Hiruzen because Hiruzen's a horrible person. The Uchiha massacre will still happen. Blah blah blah. Naruto learned his Rage Kekkei when he was fighting against, well, Hinata's bullies. He kind of activated his rage state, kind of taking control of his body at that time. Of course, this is where we did a time skip for him to go into when he was 12 years old. He went against Sasuke, and then well, he went against Sasuke, kicked his ass in his rage state again. Went against Kiba and Sasuke, like in the end of when he was in the academy and all that. Still kicked the shit out of both of them. Fought against Mizuki using his like a 5-time boost in his rage state. We're also using multi shadow clinches. He is on team 8. Team 8. Wait. Yeah, team. Yeah.
No.
Was it team
Wait.
10 or team 8? Because for Asuma.
I think Team 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for Austin, Team 10.
Okay. Team 10 for Asuma. So he has his sensei Asuma. And also Shikamaru and Ino. We also did mention that the ship is going to be Naruto and Ino. With that happening, Naruto and Shikamaru and Ino actually went against Asuma. Naruto went Rage State in that and fought against Asuma, kind of punching Asuma, but also kind of sprinting his like arm, because the more rage he has, the more, well, he's gonna break his bones if he doesn't train. Of course, after that, they did a, well, a couple D rank missions, then a C rank mission that meant to go protect a actress named Koyoki. I don't remember his last name, but of course, Naruto, he did fight against like 3 people from the Sound Village and all that. Not Sound Village, the Snow Village, which he usually just uses Rage State, kind of combining, well, learning about his actual, well, Rage personality, who is named Rage Naruto. He is kind of like Hollow Ichigo, if you want to think it like that. But of course, they did a similar fusion together to like a union fusion together, like if Asta and Ibe, or whether transformation is like assault mode, like Meliodas. Of course,
Yeah.
with that, they like whoop the hell out of like all the snow ninjas, and even Dato, whatever his goddamn name was again, who wanted to like get Koyoki's necklace to go get the treasure. Basically, Koyoki's uncle. Naruto crushed his head. Now, of course, after that, to get to the Leaf Village, which they kind of meet with the com. Well, not meet. They go to Rosen's office, tells him about the like report and all that. A dog appears, tells him about how Kakashi's in trouble and all that. The Team 10 goes to, well, the land of waves. They see that, well, Kakashi is in a water prison. Of course, Asuma's right now fighting against, well, not right now, he was fighting against Zabuza, and of course Zabuza was hurt. Haku got really mad, used Ice Domain, which allows everything around him to go Sub-Zero, and of course makes ice dragons, which Naruto in this one, Ino got hurt really bad by an ice spike, which Naruto went into assault mode, rage assault mode, but also took more than QB lent him, which gave him assault mode plus well, not 3 times, 3 tails, which he absolutely just murdered Haku. And also, when they were going against the bandits of Gato, they pretty much, well, Naruto really just murdered them all. Well, not really murder them all, mostly murder a couple people and murder Gato, which all the bandits just ran away because their money just died. So yeah. Of course, this is where they go into what's called the tuning exams. Of course, they still did the whole tuning exams. Naruto, he kind of did. He's kind of is kind of smarter a little bit, not much. Of course, not really, because you said that anime sensei. You said that Naruto just didn't do anything because of Rage and Kurama just like not even helping him.
Yeah, I think they kicked him out the moundscape when he tried to get help from them.
Oh yeah. Okay. Of course, Ino did like the similar same thing, kind of taking control of Sasuke, because Sasuke, the only thing good for her is being smart, but in the ninja world, it kind of sucks. Yeah, mostly trash can. Of course, Shikamaru is smart, but he's lazy, so he isn't gonna really try that much until the last second. Of course, after that, they go into the Death Forest. They did have a Heaven Scroll. They had to get an Earth Scroll. They fight against Orochimaru because Orochimaru just wanted to. Wait, why did we make him go against Orochimaru?
I think because Orochimaru was trying to find Sasuke. I guess halfway through he encountered Naruto.
Okay, that is true. So yeah. After they get to, well, fighting against Orochimaru, Ino gets hurt, blood kind of comes from her mouth. Naruto goes into assault mode, because that's what we're going to call it when they're fusion. And of course, whoops the shit out of Orochimaru. Orochimaru tries to put a curse mark on him, which it doesn't work because Kurama and Rage Naruto just really kills Orochimaru's spirit or soul, fragment soul, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Kurama just...
Like, for instance, think of it like a germ. When you wash your hands, it kills the germ. But Kurama's chakra basically was able to kill, like, the curse mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just like destroy the what's called, just erase it.
Yeah.
Of course, Rage Naruto just also did something, just kind of destroyed, well, kind of made Kurama's chakra kind of destroy the whole soul part, so basically crushing the soul part of Orochimaru's. Think of that if Undertale when Sam just blast the hell over there. Sure, why not? We go with that.
Yeah.
Of course, after that, they manage to get to the tower. They fight against, well, Naruto goes against Kiba, same thing. So Naruto legit whoops Kiba's ass by going to Rage State. Akamaru, he didn't help Kiba at all. So, what's called Kiba got... Wait, what?
You chicken no, bro.
Yeah, he chicken it. He remembered that last time how Kiba got his ass kicked in Sasuke.
Yeah.
It was 2 people against Naruto, and they got their ass kicked still. With them. Of course, with that happening, Shikamaru went against Kim and Ino went against Trashkin, but Ino, she's stronger. She was training with Asuma and her actual clan, and Sasuke being a fucking Trashkin, pretty much Ino whoops her ass just easily.
Yo.
Just KO the Trashkin. Just throw her into, well, the freaking dumpster side. Yard and all that.
Useless.
Yeah, just totally fucking useless. Her daughter would have been useful, but, Kishimoto came back and just said, hey, let me make her useless again.
And right one for the life of her.
Yeah. Okay. What's it called? I'm gonna go back into... So, of course, after that, Naruto was actually, after the whole fights, they did say something about, like, the one and all that, the battles and all that. Hinata was hurt. Of course, Naruto says, hey, bro, you ain't gonna kill her, because Naruto showed up real fast because of his rage state, because Hinata was pretty nice to him. Even though I think in the beginning I said I was gonna make her a bitch, but nah, we're just gonna make her, she was nice to Naruto, so yeah. of course, with that happening, Naruto like blocked the attack from Neji and Neji says what's it called? What we didn't say anything about Neji, but of course Naruto says I'll beat your ass, Neji, if I get the fight. What's called the fight thing and all that. If I get him at the fighter and all that. Of course, well, Naruto versus Neji in the 1-1 time skip, but of course we never got to the final tuning exam. Of course, the other things happen. Of course, Shikamaru is still gonna go against what's called Tamari, and Ino is going against Chino. But let me go into the 1 month. Of course, Naruto's training with Asuma, and he learns about his two other infinity chakras: water and lightning. Water from his mother, lightning from his father. Now, of course, I did mention some like jutsus, like water tsunami and lightning. What's it called? His lightning is actually red. We mentioned that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So his like lightning is red, and did we say that he would have his water red, but we thought of it as being blood at the same time?
If we didn't mention that, we're mentioning now.
Yeah, we're mentioning it now. We're mentioning that his water infinity is red, which I'm also gonna give him something that allows him to kind of bend blood, like what's called think of it from Avatar.
Like Katara can blood bend.
Yeah.
She does that.
Yeah. Somewhat does that. His water version is kind of upgrade version because it was Rage Kekkei, but yeah. Okay, so also I think that's all we mentioned last time, and we were actually going into the final tuning exams. But yeah, do you want me to begin or do you?
You could go.
Okay. So in the final tuning exams, this is where Naruto he woke up pretty early, and of course is running towards what's it called? Not running towards, but mostly just walking towards the stadium and all that. But of course, when he gets to the stadium, no one's pretty much there because Naruto he isn't lazy that much. He didn't wake up late to go to the stadium or anything, so he kind of got there pretty early, and there's like no one there yet. Of course, this is where Neji comes in because Neji is ready to whoop Naruto, but Naruto's gonna whoop him 6 way on a damn Sunday. Well, we will mention that later. Of course, this is where like everyone else starts showing up. Except for Sasuke, he's too late because he's with Kakashi. So yeah, and Gaara. So what's it called? This is where the proctor named Hayate. Now, in this one, Hayate isn't gonna die because you want screw it. I can't remember who was the. Wait.
I forgot how he died.
Wait, what?
I forgot how the dude died.
Hayate died because of how what's called Baki and Kabuto were like doing a meeting and all that.
Yeah.
And Hayate kind of like overheard them and was about to report this and all that, and then Baki showed up. Hayate tried to use like his swordsmanship and then get his ass kicked by Baki, or murdered mostly.
Jumped.
He got not jumped. Kabuto dipped. But yeah.
Dang, I thought.
Yeah. But this one I'm just gonna say Hayate didn't die. It's what was the other guy's name? The guy that usually had a stick in his like mouth or something. Because there was the guy that had the stick in his mouth and the guy that looks like he needed sleep so bad. Hayate was the one that needed sleep so bad, but the guy with the stick I don't remember.
Ibiki.
No, not Ibiki. Ibiki was the tall guy with the scar.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember. And that's why I'm just gonna. That's why I'm just gonna say Hayate was there still. Hayate didn't die in this one. He survived against the Baki attack, but Hayate is just gonna be there because I can't remember the other guy. Comment in the video about the other guy. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But of course, I have to say, first match, Naruto Uzumaki versus what's called Neji Hyuga. Now, of course, a bunch of people are cheering for Neji to beat up the demon because that was mostly everyone. But of course, this is where Naruto didn't really care. He was kind of angry and annoyed with people kind of just calling him a demon again. But yeah, and of course, well, not really a demon, but mostly, well, yeah, people did call him a demon still. But of course, this is where what's called the Hokage. So Horuzen would still be up there, and well, tomorrow is just gonna be in Razana. Razana, is that his name? Gaara's father. I don't remember Razana.
You forgot this man's name.
It's definitely Razana. I can remember that. I think so.
Yeah, I think it was Ryza, something like that.
It's Razana. Yeah, it's Razana. Okay. So of course, Orochimaru is pretending to be the Kazekage, but of course, Hiruzen doesn't know about that. No one knows about that because, Orochimaru being a pedo, he just likes to be in people's bodies, especially the young boys like Sasuke. Wait, before I go any further, what's it called? What was it called? I don't even think you actually watched this, but this is what's it called Anime Sage. What if Orochimaru didn't like leave the Akatsuki and all that? Anime Sage was like singing Orochimaru's song and all that. He was like, he's coming for your Itachi, he's coming for your Sasuke, he likes young bodies. I'm like, okay. It was a good song. But yeah. But let me go back to the what if before we get sidetracked again, because we're not trying to do 1 hour, maybe.
Nah, we kind of got sidetracked last month.
It was about a 2 hour long video if my what's it called recording didn't stop or anything. But whatever.
Yeah.
Let me go back into the what if. So of course Neji says, "You cannot defeat me, cause destiny is on my side." Naruto over here is saying, because Naruto wasn't really paying attention. Right now, Naruto's talking to Rage Naruto. And Rage Naruto is telling Naruto that he wants to beat the crap out of Neji. And of course, this is where Naruto says, no, we cannot do that. We cannot really kill him or anything. Rage Naruto says, I'm not trying to kill him. I'm trying to just beat the crap out of him. But of course, Naruto says, you know what? Screw it, fine. Rage Naruto says, really? Can I take control of your body? And Naruto says, oh, hell no. We're just gonna do a union fuse and use assault mode. So Rage Naruto kind of said, why? You're no fun, Naruto. And Naruto said, fuck off. But of course, this is where Neji says, are you too scared, Uzumaki? Naruto, his eyes went red. And of course, they're not slick, but they're just red. A red aura appears around him. But of course, this red color kind of goes around his body, like assault mode, assault mode, Meliodas. But yeah, he just goes into the form, and Neji says, he tried to use the Byakugan, but the only thing he sees instead of blue chakra is red. Not like orange chakra, Kurama, but red, like pure crimson red chakra. This is where Naruto, he disappears from Neji's view and appears right behind Neji's weakness. Naruto doesn't know about the Hyuga's weakness, but he appears right behind Neji's weakness, because even though Neji can see as a 360 view and all that, there's one spot that kind of Neji cannot see or any of the Hyugas can see. So yeah, Naruto was right there and just punches the head out of Neji's head, smashing him to the ground. It's where Neji gets back up, kind of his head just dizzy as hell, because Naruto really just punched the hell out of him. Naruto's right now in front of him, and this is where Neji says, I'm not losing. Destiny has told me that you lost. That's where Naruto kicks Neji in the face before Neji can get up. That's where Neji, he gets hit, but of course, he does like a flip, lands onto his feet, and rushes at Naruto using the gentle fist style, and of course, hitting Naruto's like, what's it called? The, chakra points. This is where Naruto, he's getting hit by the chakra points, and of course, none of it is actually really much hurting him that much. All the chakra points that Naruto has is, well, combine that with rage. So it's like a, how should I say? His rage, Kekkei, does give him durability and strength and speed increase, but can also, like, how should I say, defend his chakra points. Like, how should I say, like a shield will be over the chakra points. Like, no Hyuga can be able to, like, stop the chakra points, if that makes sense. But of course, this is where Naruto, he just like gets hit by like a bunch of them. Like, he Neji does about 64, and Naruto is not even affected by it. That's why Naruto just elbows the hell out of like Neji right in the chest. Neji gets back and he's coughing up and all. Not coughing out blood because Naruto really didn't hit him that hard just yet. That's where Naruto is walking to Neji, and Neji says, I'm not losing, you bastard. That's what Naruto says. Too bad for you. And of course, his voice is kind of like distorted from, well, Naruto's voice to Rage Naruto, because Rage Naruto sounds like Hollow Ichigo, if that's what you want to think. But his voice is kind of distorted. Think of it like Vegeta or Gogeta. But yeah. Of course, this is where, Neji's kind of feeling fear for the second, well, not second time. Actually, no, he's feeling kind of fear for the second time. The first time was definitely Hayate kind of using the curse mark, but yeah. I mean, not curse mark, the, actually? No, it's the, branch, it's a bird, it's a cage bird seal and all that. I don't know why I said curse mark. But yeah, of course, this is where Naruto, he just punches the shit out of Neji in like the cheek, and of course Neji's like thrown back and all that, and of course people are like losing all that because, well, a bunch of people bet on Neji for what's called victory and all that, and over here Naruto, he's beating the fuck out of Neji, and the only person that the only people I'm gonna say that only bet on Naruto was Hayate, what's called Asuma, and even Shikamaru. She kind of bet on him, like, knowing that Naruto whooped the hell out of this, like, white, pale motherfucker. White, pale motherfucker. But yeah, of course, Naruto, he's just beating the crap out of Neji. This is where Neji, when Naruto was actually going a little bit closer, this is where Neji activated his secret technique, rotation. Of course, Naruto jumps back, but of course the rotation is happening. Of course, this is where Naruto jumps back. Neji says, you think I would have lost to you? Naruto said, definitely, but, hiding in that bubble is not going to help you at all. This is where Naruto walks forward again towards Neji, knowing damn well that bubble thing is not going to really affect him. Sorry, I keep burping, but yeah. Of course, this is where, Neji, he just says, fine. Rotation again. This is where Naruto, he said, hey, Kurama, you mind giving me a little bit of a chakra? Kurama said, fine, kid, fine. But this is where Naruto, he goes back, he pulls his hand back, puts his, like, rage and anger into his, like, left fist, and even some of the QB power. But of course, he also kind of puts, he does put all that into his, like, fist. And of course, his fist kind of goes into fire. Because both QB's power, basically Kurama's, and Rage Kekkei Naruto's power, kind of releases heat, which kind of caught the air around his fist to catch on fire. And Naruto just throws his left left fist at what's called the rotation, which collided with the rotation, but is actually managing to crack it. Naruto is really just pushing towards the rotation, cracking it. This is where Neji is realizing that the rotation is cracking. He's hoping that it doesn't crack until a couple of seconds. It breaks, and Naruto knees Neji so hard in the stomach. Neji goes, and of course Neji's eyes goes white, like blank white, and he's knocked out. So this is where Hayate says Naruto Uzumaki has just won. Neji Hyuga is knocked out. Everyone is crying, like the people that hated Naruto are crying because they lost a lot of money. Ino is saying, "Yeah, I knew he can do it," because Naruto, they're kind of trying to learn about their emotions, but yeah, with each other. But yeah, this is where Naruto is happy. He's kind of blushing also because they're screaming at him and all that. Not really as a mean scream or anything like that, but mostly as a good job and all that. Next match would be Garo versus Sasuke, but Sasuke hasn't showed up. So Hayate says we will wait a couple minutes and all that. But yeah. Of course this is where the next match would be Shikamaru versus Tamari. That match will not go the same. So we did mention that Shikamaru had Earth Style. Didn't we? Anime Sensei? Is it Earth Style? Earth Style and other chakra, or did we just said Earth Style?
I think, comments. If we get this wrong, remind us.
Yeah,
if we decided.
We kind of forgot.
We definitely decided on Earth.
Earth, and I'm thinking of like giving him darkness release because of his shadows, but I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good actually.
Okay.
Sounds good, Frank.
Okay, so not Naruto, Shikamaru, since he has trained in Earth Style and also his darkness release from Asuma, because Asuma, even though he didn't train him, Asuma did wanted to know about, each of his teammates, not each of his teammates, but mostly each of his students' chakra natures. So, Shikamaru has, Earth Style and Darkness Release, which Asuma has no clue what the fuck Darkness Release is, but the paper just went into two sides. So one side, it kind of went into just the paper kind of going into this darkness kind of, it just turned darkness in one half and the other half just crumbled. So yeah. So Asuma just guessing that that's a shadow release or whatever, but it's mostly darkness release. So Shikamaru, for the 1 month, he did train with his father, and his father said that Earth Style, he doesn't have any clue what to do, but just gave him a bunch of scrolls and all that. And for Darkness Release, this is where, his father said, it kind of looks like Darkness Release, even though that's not one of the 5 chakra natures. So I'm gonna do a flashback with that. His father just said it's not one of the chakra natures, but he's thinking and saying that their clan did kind of originate from a person that kind of did use darkness release, which that's how their clan got their shadow technique. So I'm gonna say that as well. Shikamaru does have darkness release from that descendant person. Isn't that good enough?
Yeah.
Of course, is where he did also get some scrolls from his father, like kind of clan techniques that are for the Naruto, but these aren't for like the shadow techniques and all that, but mostly the darkness release, chakra, jutsus and all that. Now, of course, Shikamaru is going against Tamari, and Tamari is saying, I'm gonna win because she's a strong, independent woman and all that. Wait, can I say one thing?
Let's go.
Okay, wait. Okay, before I go into the what if, Tamari is pretty damn strong. Who actually write her? Because I'm thinking Kishimoto did not really write her or whatever.
I don't think so, honestly.
Because she is strong and she's overpowered. Why is Sasuke useless? Or half the girls and
No.
Because Sasuke's a trash can Tenten has no screen time, but she's kind of strong. And Ino, she would have been very strong if she didn't fangirl over what's it called, Sasuke.
That's a fact.
And I think that's all the girls. And Hinata, she's strong. I mean, who actually write Hinata? I mean, somewhat Hinata.
I feel like when it comes to the female cast, I think Kishimoto had some help with characters like Hinata, Sakura, and Tenten to some extent.
Yeah. Because Tamari is strong as hell, and yeah, she has like very powerful air, like wind jutsus. And Sasuke over here having healing. Okay. What the fuck is that gonna do half the time when she can't even get rid of a damn Renegon from Obito?
Right? Like, how can't you do that? It's simple. You have one job.
You could have, if you didn't want to stab his Renegon, you could have like taken it out, heal his eye, crushing your hand, and done.
And you know Naruto could create eyes, so why were you scared?
Yeah, why were you scared? Naruto legit. Wow, whatever.
I don't get bad characters sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go back to the what if. Now, this is where Shikamaru, his clothes are actually gonna change a little bit. So he still has the same drip like in original canon, yes, when he's fighting against Tamari. But I'm actually gonna give him like a dark jacket somewhat. His sandals aren't gonna be blue, but instead of just being black. So yeah. Because you know what? If he's gonna have darkness release, I'm actually gonna give him a little bit darkness clothes. So yeah.
Yeah, he could at least match what he does or what he can use.
That's why. So of course we go into the battle against Tamari. Now it's not gonna go in the same original fight and all that, but let me go in. So Shikamaru, he is kind of lazy and he goes in for the shadow paralysis jutsu and all that. Of course, Tamari noticed what that jutsu can do, and she jumps away from it. So Shikamaru, he's actually gonna go into his position of thinking for a while, because you know that's how he actually is a genius, and he's kind of like a wise old man for that. But yeah, of course, this is where Naruto, he is going to not Naruto, what am I talking about? Shikamaru, he is going to just sit there, and of course, Tamari starts attacking at Shikamaru. Shikamaru, he dodges most of the attacks and all that. Well, not mostly dodge him, but mostly just sits there, and the attacks just kind of fly beside him. He kind of has that plot armor, not really, but somewhat. Of course, this is where Tamari, she's saying, "Come on and fight, Shikamaru Narwa." And of course, Shikamaru just says, "Damn females, always annoying me." Whatever. This is where he kind of rushes at, well, what's it called? Tamari. And Tamari, she was like, I knew you were gonna be a dumb boy and all that. And of course, this is where she like hits Shikamaru, like in the chest. But instead of like getting knocked out, this is where he kind of poofs. Not really a poof or anything, but he turns into like this dark sludge and all that. It kind of just goes into this darkness effect that he kind of just exploded by. Because this is a darkness clone that he kind of created. This is where Tamari is shocked, and Ino is shocked, and Naruto's also shocked. Asuma's pretty damn shocked. And of course, Shikamaru's father, he's not there watching that much, but he knows his son must have used the darkness because there's a lot of people cheering and all that. Of course, this is where Shikamaru tried to use his shadow paralysis jutsu again. And of course, when Tamari's kind of shocked and never seen this kind of jutsu happen. This is where she tries to jump away a couple of like meters and all that. But of course, the shadow paralysis jutsu was kind of underneath the darkness because the darkness did kind of block the sun and make more shadow. And of course, almost got to what's called Tamari. And of course, Tamari, she saw that it was actually getting kind of closer, so she jumped back and noticed that, well, it stopped. So she says, you really think you can do that pretty easily? That's where Shikamaru says, this is such a drag. And this is where Shikamaru says, fine. Shikamaru, he gets out of the trees. And no, this is not a clone, but the actual Shikamaru. And Shikamaru has his hand on like his like back, kind of just like, well, not back, his neck, kind of just massaging and all that. Because, he's kind of seen this too much of a drag and all that. But this is where Shikamaru says, fine. Then let's see if you can do, what's it called, dodge this. This is where Shikamaru, he goes through hand signs and says, Earth style, Earth spikes. Multiple Earth spikes happens around what's called, well, towards mostly Tamari. And of course, these Earth spikes is about to hit Tamari until Tamari like jumps away from it. And of course, like uses her fan to shoot like what's called wind projectiles that kind of just cut through the Earth spikes. Of course, there's Shikamaru dodges, and of course, is saying, I guess you're not that bad, Tamari or something. Is that your name, right? Shikamaru didn't answer pay attention because Shikamaru is over here being kind of lazy and too bored out of his mind to actually do this. He'd rather be watching clouds. But yes, with that happening, this is where Tamari says, damn it, bastard. You really are just gonna be cocky and all that? And Shikamaru says, no, not really. Ooh, that's a giant cloud kind of just passing by. And of course, Tamari says, cloud? There's no cloud. This is where Tamari kind of sees there's a cloud passing by, making shadow. And this is where Shikamaru says, ooh, shadow paralysis jutsu. Managed to catch her in what's called the giant cloud that was kind of passing by a little bit. It was kind of near the sun and all that. It was kind of on top of them. Not really much, but yeah. Enough shadow to kind of, for Shikamaru to do it. And of course, Tamari says, are you fucking serious? That fucking cloud just came out of nowhere? What the fuck? Now, I should mention one thing. The cloud was a little bit too dark to be a normal white puffy cloud. The cloud was a little too dark. Because Shikamaru actually did a jutsu before kind of going out and trying to fight against Tamari. He thought of making a darkness cloud. He managed to, well, add a lot of chakra into this darkness cloud. And of course, just make it look like it's a natural cloud just passing by. Of course, Tamari, she's mad, she's pissed. But of course, she just says, wow, that's annoying. And of course, the darkness cloud just started just kind of melting and falling down. And Tamari noticed that the darkness cloud is made out of the same stuff like the what's called darkness clone. She realized that this man right in front of her just pretty much made it look like a natural cloud. Somewhat too dark, but no one actually really paid attention to the darkness of the cloud. But of course, this is where Tamari's impressed. And of course, Hayate says, I see. So before Hayate can say Shikamaru won, Shikamaru says, I'm out of chakras, so I'm gonna give up. This is where Hayate says, okay. What's called Tamari of the Sand Village has won. She's going to the next round. So yeah. This is where Tamari just goes, what the fuck do you mean? Both Ino and Naruto says, what the fuck, Shikamaru? Are you just serious? She's gonna give up like that? Shikamaru says, yeah, I'm too lazy. And of course, both Ino and Naruto just kind of face plant into the ground, but they just go, what the fuck? Asuma saw this coming somewhat. He managed to saw this somewhat coming, but yeah. But of course, that happened. Now, I actually want to get some water. Anime Sensei, do you want to do the next match or what?
Sure, yeah. You want me to wait or
No,
start?
you can start.
Alright, so we move on to the next fight. Ino versus Chino. Oh, their name's kind of long. But, yeah. We move on to both of them walking to the arena. As they get ready, they observe their opponent, looking to see if they can find any weaknesses before they engage in combat. With Ino taking note of the fact that, well, she doesn't have much information on Chino, but she does know that he's a kind of a sneaky fighter, and to be careful when fighting someone like Chino. He's a tricky opponent. So as Hayate, or whatever the dude's name is, what you call it, starts the match, saying 3, 2, 1, start. As they suddenly run at each other, trading blows. They manage to land 2 gut punches on each other, sending each other flying back. As Ino prepares mind transfer jutsu, Shino's able to dodge it. As Chino makes a bug clone, sending it to go fight her, while he sends a few of his bugs to try to sneak up on her, to drain her chakra. As a few manage to actually sneak up on her and slowly drain her chakra, she doesn't really notice yet, but continues to try to fight. As they continue to trade blows a little more, and she manages to punch him in the face, sending him into the air.
Before Anime Sensei, before what's it called? You continue on that. Do you want to give Ino chakra natures, because we never actually gave her anything?
That is true. You should give her one.
I'm thinking of what, 2. One is actually just gonna be one of like the 5 chakra natures, and the other is just gonna be an OC chakra nature that I'm gonna give her.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so the first one is gonna be what's called. I'm gonna say, well, water. Well, because how she kind of has to just, because her family works in what's called that of like a plant shop and all that, and usually they water the plants. So I'm kind of thinking of giving her water. And
that sounds good.
And the second one is actually, well, the same thing as like where she works at a plant shop. So her second one is actually gonna be from her mother, well, her mother descendant family and all that. Since I don't even think her mother is really much part of the Yamanaka, because they're not doing incest like what's called the Hyuga and all that. But yeah, so her mother family Kekkei is actually mostly gonna be a Kekkei, is about using plants as their advantage. So this chakra nature is just gonna be called the planterer. No, the okay. I was thinking of giving her like vine release or like a flower release or something.
That sounds good.
Okay, vine or it would be like the wood style, but instead of being like mixed with water and earth, it will kind of be mixed with water, earth, and wind.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's the what's called. Do you want me to explain how it actually works, or?
So, like, does it work something like wood style? Like, the roots come, like, from the ground?
Yeah, instead of, like, doing that, I never... Okay, so have you ever seen Fire Force?
Yeah, I kind of recently got into it, actually.
Okay. There's this one character that kind of uses, like... She creates fire, but manipulates that into, like, creating flowers around her.
Oh, okay.
And of course, instead of like doing at the same time, of course, I'm actually gonna give her somewhat of a dojutsu that's similar to hers, because well, from Fire Force, like her eyes being kind of a flower dojutsu and all that. Is gonna have that because I just thought of it, because let's make kind of overpowered if we're making Naruto overpowered. So what's called she's gonna have what's called this flower doju, not dojutsu, the dojutsu, and also the Kekkei Kenkai being allowing her to create flowers from the ground, but specific kind of flowers. Think of it, an orange flower would kind of be like Mario's flower that allows him to throw fire. I don't know, I just thought of it like that. But instead of like the flower she eats or anything, no, the flower legit like throw fire up and all that and try to shoot at like the enemy and all that. Or think of it like when she makes a flower. Think of it like a giant flower. Think of it like from Seven Deadly Sins, how King uses a giant sunflower attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she can create the yellow flower like that, or she can use like vines to just come out from the ground and all that. Think of it like from My Hero Academia, Vine Hair Girl, whatever. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you still want the water, what's it called? Water release to be with her or what?
Yes, you can still have that.
Because I would just make her, what's it called, Kekkei more stronger. I'm just saying.
Fact. Because this is a what if. That's the fun thing about what ifs.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
That's fine. I do have lots of comments where like people saying, I don't know why, but there was just like one comment when I was starting out that kind of just says, "What the fuck? Why are you making Naruto so overpowered?" I'm like, this is a what if, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
If you don't want to see him strong, go watch another what if.
Yeah. Okay.
Go watch Canon.
Yeah, go watch Canon Naruto. So you wanna continue or what?
Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, so as she jumps in the air, sending Chino in the air, she prepares a water-style water bullet as it sends him flying into the ground, creating a massive crater. As everyone in the stands are confused on what happened because there's a huge smoke screen. People can't really see what's going on. As Ino uses this chance to use her transfer jutsu, she manages to enter Chino's mind. But as she enters, she does see something. Something strange, with Chino having an encounter with a masked man who seemed to look a lot like that dude who ambushed them in the forest. As she chooses not to really dabble into what that is, she just takes control of Chino's body and tells the announcer that he quits. Well, that he quits, but you get what I'm saying. And she's announced the winner. But, Lord Potato.
Yeah, I was getting water, so, yeah, well, oh, you're done?
Yeah, I was thinking about something.
Yeah, well.
So, when I was including something in the fight, I was thinking maybe Chino had an encounter with Orochimaru.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Tamari or Kabuto, cause, you know.
Or Kabuto, yeah. I can't really see him meeting Orochimaru unless it was the Force of Death, but Kabuto, yeah.
Yeah. So,
should we dabble into that, or
okay.
have that you mentioned?
Let me mention this. Okay, let me go on and explain what happened. Okay. So, with Shino, he kind of met Kabuto. Now, not really met Kabuto, but kind of saw Kabuto talking to someone in the forest, in the Death Forest. When Chino was trying to look for someone in the Death Forest, with like a scroll and all that, he saw two people. One with white grayish hair, and another with, well, a kind of snake body looking like Peter and all that. Of course, with that happening, what's it called? The snake person and Kabuto, they both kind of leaped away, but Shino was kind of interested in what the hell these people are or anything. One looks kind of familiar, like something that he read on a book or something. Because, Shino's pretty damn smart, so I'm going to guess that he read on a book and all that. One that kind of looks like he saw something in a book or something. The other he knows is one of the, what's called, Konoha ninjas. Now, of course, he was wondering what they were actually staring at exactly. Or staring at that place. With Shino going to that place, he sees a pile, like a pile and all that, of, well, 3 dead bodies. Now, these 3 dead bodies are not the not leaf ninjas, but the grass ninjas. They're not those. The grass ninjas were someone else. These are actually, just cannon fodder leaf ninjas. They are not the main ones, but yeah. So that's what happened. Think that's good enough or what?
Yeah. So, we move on to when Sasuke is about to arrive. As we move with Naruto thinking to himself, and where's that emo and the lousy Sensei at? No, because they abandoned me, so the least they can do is show up. As the next match is called Gaara versus Sasuke. As Gaara shows up to the stadium.
Oh wait, Animate Sensei. Did we ever mention about what's it called? So it was Shino's team, but I also forgot who else was going against this fight. I think it was Zakon, the guy with the air cannon, versus Kankuro.
Yeah. My bad, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, I forgot about those guys. They weren't really important.
So wait, did we have Naruto meet Jiraiya?
No, we didn't. We didn't kind of put them together with that. Instead, we kind of just what's called let Naruto train. Let me say that again. Train with Asuma and get a weapon of the scythe and all that.
Yeah.
The red scythe and all that. We kind of mentioned that the scythe can be added with chakra of different natures and all that. So like fire chakra, wind chakra, anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we never mentioned about Jiraiya or anything. But Jiraiya is somewhat there. He was there, but he didn't meet Naruto. So yeah.
Not yet. But yeah, let's fast forward back a bit to Saikon. Man, what's his name again?
Zakon, something like that. Zakon.
Yeah.
I just call him Air Cannon Boy, or you can call him the bootleg version of All for One.
Yeah, bootleg All for One versus Conqueror. Well, basically, alright. I think I know Conqueror's abilities a bit. So basically, we move to.
If you don't know, I can actually explain it to you.
And
I can explain what Conqueror's abilities are exactly.
Because I know he uses puppets, but...
Yeah, he mostly uses puppets, poison, and what's it called? So yeah, poison and puppets, and mostly doesn't fight in what's called close range, mostly long range, and can also take control of other people with his like chakra strings.
Noted.
Think of it like Doflamingo when he takes over control over people with his like Ito no Mi.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Do you know what Zakon can do?
I know he's good with wind chakra because he used it against Sasuke and them in the Force of Death.
Mostly he can just use air cannons. That was mostly what he can do.
Yeah.
Kind of put enough chakra into his what's called little air cannons or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah. So we meet up with them in the stadium. They both get ready, getting into their stances as Ayate or whatever announced the fight. As Konkuro's puppet, instead of himself, went charging at off-brand dude. And, well, he charges at Konkuro as him and the puppets clash a little bit. Konkuro commands his puppets to come back to where he is, as he creates just a normal clone, pretty much. A normal clone. While Steven, I'm just gonna call him Steven. Steven fires off an air cannon.
Wait, Anime Sensei, didn't we call someone else Steven?
Yeah, we did.
It was Koyoki's like guardian uncle, whatever. Not guardian uncle, but guardian.
Yeah, Hikaru. Yeah, I'm just gonna call him Hikaru or something. Yeah. Yeah. As Hikaru pretty much charges at him, trying to use his wind cannon, air cannon. While Konkuro's clone that he previously had created managed to sneak up behind him, slipping a little bit of poison as Hikaru notices and uses an air cannon, destroying the clone. As he charges at one of the puppets, clashing with it a little bit, as they continue to fight off a little more, until suddenly he feels chakra strings on him. As everyone in the stands are pretty much confused on what happened, and we move to Asuma, kind of just explaining, since he's seen this technique before, explaining to them that, well, pretty much this is a string technique, basically controlling your opponent, and the kid seems pretty good at it, since he's pretty good at puppets and all that. As, well, Team 10 is pretty much shocked at that. As we move back to the crowds, Hikaru is, for further words, mad. Really not. So, he forfeits, because Konkuro made him. Literally. But, yeah, next match. Lower Potato.
Yeah.
So, how we gonna do this? You wanna do the Naruto versus Gaara or Sasuke versus Gaara? How we gonna do that?
I would just say that Sasuke would just be like an original canon.
Yeah.
But I want to mention something. I just remember one thing. Isn't Zakon someone that's supposed to be sacrificed to actually bring like Kages back into life?
Oh yeah.
Zakon, Kim, and the other guy.
Yeah.
We can just use some other people.
Yeah, like some random people from the south.
Yeah. Kim and Zakon and the other guy will still be alive.
Yeah.
What's it called? So, do you want me to do what's called a Sasuke versus Gaara just to be original canon?
Yeah, because I don't really see it going any different. Maybe it lasted a little longer.
Maybe it lasted a little longer, but yeah. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna skip that one because it just goes to original canon.
Yeah.
So, you want me to start or do you want to go on?
You can go.
Okay. So, after Sasuke, fighting against Gaara and, making Gaara go into his half Shikaku state, this is where Gaara is having to chase after, Tamari, Kankuro, out the walls. The whole Genjutsu will still happen because of Kawato. This is where Naruto, Ino, and Shikamaru are barely affected by the Genjutsu because, Naruto in this one, he can just see a Genjutsu, but he doesn't need to say release because Kurama could just break it. And Ino, she's like pretty good at just saying release because she knows the Genjutsu. Shikamaru, he does the same thing, tries to go to sleep. But of course, this is where Ino kicks him up and tells him, let's go. Of course, other people, they fall asleep except for, Hinata's still like weak and sick and all that. She was kind of weak and all that. But Kabuto did kind of heal her and all that. But of course, this is where we're going into the whole fight against the Konoha Crush. So the Sand and Sound are actually going to go try to crush Konoha. This is where Naruto, he kind of tried to help what's called Hayate Sensei. Because Hayate is right now fighting against Baki. Baki says, I thought I killed you. And Hayate says, think again, bastard. And Baki was about to try to kill Hayate again because Hayate hasn't really fully healed. And also he looks like he needs goddamn sleep. This is where Naruto jumps down and really just kicks at Baki. Baki gets mad and tries to kill at Naruto. You know what she uses? She activates her what's called Kekkei, her flower Kekkei, where she makes vines around Baki and just wrap him around. And of course Hayate cannot get out of it and saying, what the hell? This is where Naruto knocks his ass out. So this is where Kakashi, Asuma, and Kurenai are mixed with Ino's like ability and Naruto's combat ability and all that. But of course they're right now fighting against the ninjas and all that. Hayate says, thank you there, Naruto. Naruto says, you're welcome. Where did that emo go exactly? This is where Hayate says, they went into the forest. Ino, Naruto were like, okay, we can go over there with her. And of course, this is where others actually decide to join along. So Rock Lee, he is still kind of hurt and all that, so he will be in the hospital. So I would say that Rock Lee show up for no reason, but nah. This is where what's called like an original team, like Chino would be there, but instead of being like Sasuke being useless as hell being there, now it's Ino who's gonna be there. So Chino, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Ino are actually going to go after Sasuke, and the what's called Gaara and the others. Now, of course, this is where Sasuke is trying to chase after Gaara and all that. Now, Sasuke did manage to pass through what's called Kankuro and also Tamari. But this is where Naruto noticed that Tamari will be in front of us and all that. Well, in front of Sam mostly. This is where Naruto says, one of the Sand siblings will be in front of us. Tamari, I think that's her name. Shikamaru says, not again. Why you keep doing this to me, Naruto? I don't want to. Naruto says, too bad, Shikamaru. You're gonna have to do it. Shikamaru says, fine. This is where Shikamaru appears right in front of Tamari, and Tamari says, you again. What? Are you really gonna try to stop us from leaving the village? And Shikamaru says, not really. If you leave the village, it'll be nice, but I want to just watch some clouds and all that. Now, of course, this is where Tamari kind of sees that Shikamaru has the advantage. There's so much shadow places around for him to, use shadow paralysis jutsu. Now, of course, she is not going to try to let Shikamaru do that, even if she has to cut down the forest down. But we go towards what's called Kankuro and the others. Now, Kankuro's actually going against Chino and Yam. Now, Sasuke does have his curse mark say going against what's called Gaara. Sorry about that. But this is where Gaara is about to kill the Uchiha. Until Naruto appears and freaking drop kicks Gaara into the fucking tree. Now this is where Sasuke says, you doby bastard, I don't need your help. This is where Ino knocks his ass out by just karate chopping him in the back. Because Ino does not care about Sasuke no more. She cares about someone who actually likes her. That is Naruto. So yeah. But of course they're not dating because they're kids, so yeah, calm down there. Now.
Yeah, comments. We know how y'all are. No offense.
Yeah. Some of you are weird, like what's called Jack Watson.
Oh yeah, bro's out of coffee.
Bro isn't 9, he's 16 at least.
He's not spelling right. I'm not trying to be a bully or nothing, but bro, how do you spell weird?
Okay, weird.
We're getting offhand.
Yeah, we're doing offhand. But just saying, guys, they are fucking 12. Calm the fuck down.
We're gonna have to wait until Shippuden.
Putin. Yeah, fuck that. Wait, before I go any further, anime senses, have you ever heard of, like, what's it called? When I was actually starting, what's called watching what if YouTubers and all that, there were some people that accidentally click on their, like, what's called, what ifs and all that. And it was like this, like, what if that I didn't actually read the title or anything. I just clicked on it because they had a cool looking thumbnail because, fuck it. And of course, the first thing they said is saying that, well, what's it called? Because I kind of just skipped through the, what's it called, intro and all that. They were like taking forever and all that. And the first thing they said, let me actually pause the video. Okay, so we're going back into, we're getting sidetracked a little bit, but back into the what if. Now, Naruto, he did kind of kick what's called Gaara out of the way. Gaara gets mad and says, "Uzumaki bastard!" Now, Naruto says, "I don't give a fuck. Can you, like, get him out of here? The Uchiha?" Ino says, "Sure, why not? Be careful, Naruto." And Naruto says, "I will." And of course, Gaara, he's like using his sand and throwing it at Naruto and all that. And Naruto's dodging super easily. But of course, this is where, when, what's called, the sand is trying to hit him, he's dodging, managed to dodge and all that. But of course, this is where he kind of pulled out his scythe. Now, where does he actually keep his scythe? Well, he keeps it in the scroll that he kind of learned a little bit of sealing jutsu from Asuma. Because most of all Jonins know about sealing scrolls and all that to, like, keep their, like, stuff in it. So, of course, Naruto pulls out his scythe. His, what's it called, fire scythe. For the first time, he's actually fighting, he's using it in the fight. So, Naruto, he rushes out what's called, Gaara. And Gaara just says, "Die Uzumaki!" Tries to crush at Naruto. Naruto cuts through the sand so easily, putting fire chakra into his, like, freaking scythe, cutting it through so easily, and just rushing at what's called, Gaara. The scythe blade was about to hit Gaara and, like, the, head and all that, like, right in the neck, until Gaara exploded with more sand. Of course, Naruto almost managed to cut his neck, but then jumps back when the sand was trying to grab him. So, Naruto's saying, this guy's annoying. And of course, this is where Gaara says, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill that stupid blonde hair." And this is what Naruto says. "The fuck did you just said?" Naruto, both Naruto and his rage self kind of got attached with Ino because Ino's kind of kind and gentle and all that. But of course, this is where his rage just exploded. His rage self exploded, and the aura color is actually gonna be what the thumbnail looks like. Well, what I have in the thumbnail. Mostly there's kind of colors in the back and all that. But yeah, of course he does go into assault mode and all that. And of course it kind of took a little bit of the QB's power to kind of go into like a three-tail form. But yeah, into the, like, this three-tail cloak that's over here. But of course he rushes at Gaara, and Gaara realized one thing. Well, Shikamaru realized one thing. Whole fuck up. Wait, that chakra's familiar. Kurama, and then he gets punched in the face. Well, Gaara. Of course, Gaara's knocked the fuck out, and he's, well, knocked out. This is where Shikamaru wakes up and goes into the Shikamaru farm and says, "I'm free!" This is where Naruto says, "Are you fucking serious? I can't go against that thing." This is where Kurama says, this is where Kurama brings Naruto the mindscape so fast. Now, of course, the mindscape works a little different than the outside, so a 1 hour in the mindscape would be kind of like not even that much time pass or anything at all. But yeah, so Naruto is in the mindscape and he says, "What do you want, QB?" Well, mostly he called Kurama because he does know about Kurama's name. He even asked him one time. But yeah, I'm gonna say that he kind of asked Kurama in the 1 month time. Well, not 1 minute. 1 month time skip, but mostly in the 1 month. But yeah. Now, this is where Kurama says, kid, I need you to, what's called, open this, scroll. And this is where, Naruto says, what is this? Just read it. Naruto reads it. Summoning scroll. Fox summoning. This is where Naruto says, what the? This is where Kurama says, sign it. Hurry up and do it. Naruto says, fine. He bites his thumb and all that, draws blood, and does a, well, what's called his blood contract into the scroll and all that. Which he reads another person has signed this. And it was, well, Madara, but of course that's kind of drawn out. The only name is, well, not drawn out, kind of erased. But the only name that's kind of written on there is Madara. He doesn't know who Madara exactly is, but yeah. This is where Kurama says, just put enough chakra to summon me out into the freaking fight against Shikaku. And Naruto nodded. So he gets out of his mindscape, and of course he's still in the soft mode 3-tail cloak. This is where Naruto goes into hand signs really fast. And of course a summoning style. Poof! A giant orange fox came out. This is where Shikaku says, brother? Kurama roars and says, Shikaku! Shikaku's like, wait, Kurama, don't, no, wait, Kurama, hold up, wait, no. He gets his ass. He's kind of getting just beat the crap out of himself. Shikaku's trying to use wind bullets at, well, Kurama. Kurama is just, like, grabbing the wind bullets with his hand and crushing them. Because he's seen that these wind bullets are kind of weak to him. He kind of rushes so fast at Shikaku, kind of bites down on Shikaku, and kind of just, like, think of it like a dog kind of bites on a stuffed animal and just starts like shaking it all around. That's what Kurama's basically doing to Shikaku. Shikaku's going up and down and around and all that. He's getting dizzy. That's where Naruto says, Kurama, should I just punch the red-haired guy to wake up? That's where Kurama says, it'd be much easier like that, but then again, I don't want him to wake up. I want to beat the crap out of Shikaku. Shikaku says, stop it, stop it, no. And this is where Naruto says, you know what, I'm just gonna punch the shit out of the red hair kid. This is where Kurama says, no, you're not doing that. And Naruto says, wake up, motherfucker. Bah! Knocks out Gaara, but mostly punches the shit out of him, waking his ass up, and Shikaku's out of the, well, Shikaku state. And of course, Kurama saying, no, he poofs away. Just being dramatic and all that. This is where Naruto lands on his feet, while Gaara kind of just lands on the ground. Not on his feet, mostly on his face and all that. But yeah. We go into, well, before I go into this fight, or not really fight, the end of the fight, we go back into Shikamaru versus Tamari. Now, Shikamaru is just going, well, he's saying, so, Tamari, are you really going to fight me again? You realize what happened last time. Tamari says, I'm not letting this fight go any longer. And this one, not Naruto, Shikamaru says, I know that. This is why we're gonna have to finish this really quick. This is where Shikamaru jumps away. And of course, this is where Tamari says, you said we were gonna finish this quickly. Then she kinda said, well, not said, you damn bastard. This is where she hears a voice and saying, oh, don't call me a damn bastard. And she has this, like, there's like this cold metal thing next to her neck. And there's like hot breath, like, behind her. This is, well, Shikamaru didn't just jump back, like, appear right behind her. Mostly, this is what I'm actually gonna do for Shikamaru. He can definitely use darkness, or at least, yes. But he can jump into that of any, if there's like a shadow thing or anything, he can jump into it and appear like next to it. Like a teleportation jutsu, if you want to think about it like that. He kind of appeared right behind Tamari and has his kunai right next to Tamari's neck. And is kind of just breathing on Tamari just to like spook her out. So yeah. She easily gets defeated by Shikamaru, but yeah. Now we go into, well, Kankuro's and Shino's fight. And well, with that happening, Chino was kind of almost like he was poisoned and all that. And of course, original canon, his father would showed up, but not in this one. Ino shows up and uses her what's called genkai, her not flower dojutsu, but actually like makes a flower appear like a sunflower, and it's gonna be similar to that to what's called King from Seven Deadly Sins, where it can also heal people and all that, the flower and all that. Well, not kings, mostly Galate, Galate, the pink haired guy with the butterfly wings, or the fairy king, the previous fairy king. Galate. What was his name again?
I think so. I think he was in the whatchamacallit. He was a part of
The Ten Commandments. I know that.
Yeah.
But he was the previous what's called fairy king.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna what's it called? Ino's gonna have a similar ability to his like flower what's it called? Flower power, whatever, where I can heal people and all that. So yeah, Ino does it. Shino's saved by Ino, but yeah, also Sasuke is laying right next to Kankuro, but that does not matter. Now, this is where Tamari is like telling Shikamaru to at least bring her toward her brother and all that. So, of course, she sees what's it called, Kankuro just laying there knocked the fuck out. Of course, this is where Tamari is saying, can we at least see our what's called younger brother? Of course, Naruto is carrying Gaara on his back. So let me go with what's it called, what happened to Naruto. Naruto's telling what's it called, Gaara about what he is. He's a Jinchuriki just like him, but at the same time he met people who actually loved him and all that. So he doesn't have much hatred or anything like that. But he has a lot of rage, but he's not gonna mention that. Now, of course, he has the rage power. He has rage. He makes his rage into power. Whoever hurts his friends or his loved ones. He thinks of Ino, Shikamaru, and other people. So, of course, is where Gaara understands, and of course, is where Naruto picks up Gaara and kind of gives him a piggyback ride. So, of course, is where Tamari is saying, Gaara. Now, Gaara says, Tamari, Kankuro, we must leave and all that. Kankuro's awake, I should have mentioned that. He was kind of knocked out, but he wakes up. Of course, this is where Naruto says, let's just let them go. Ino, Shikamaru, and Chino says, sure, why not? So, of course, this is where Naruto decides to give Gaara to Tamari and Kankuro, and Tamari leaves and all that. Gets back to the Sand Village. But, of course, this is where Naruto, Chino, Ino, and Shikamaru are going back to the village. Do you want to save Hiruzen in this one, or do you just want to let him die? This is a what if, exactly.
I think, because I'm going to be honest, I don't think Hiruzen really deserves to live. I know that sounds cool, but it's like, because if we don't kill him now, we probably end up killing him between maybe
Pain art.
Probably Pain.
Pain just almighty pushed him. His like what's called skin just blows away, and now he's become a skeleton.
Okay, maybe we should save his death. Actually.
Okay. I just gave you that.
Maybe after his fight, he decides to retire or something.
Or we can just decide to say that he goes, or he tells Naruto and Jiraiya to go get what's called Tsunade.
Yeah.
Do you wanna do this? Cause I gotta do something real quick.
Yeah, me too. I think we might have to end it here. All right, guys. We probably gonna have to end it here. But got anything to say?
Hey, yeah. So let me say one thing and one thing only. Go subscribe to Anime Sensei, and yeah, have a nice potato day or potato night.
Yeah.
I will put his link in the down description, and yeah.
Go check out my new vid. What if Naruto was a reincarnation of the ancient Uzumaki?
Wait, did you already upload that or did you?
Oh yeah, I recently, like an hour or two ago, before we started recording. Yeah.
It hasn't actually shown up in your like YouTube channel.
Oh, it hasn't?
No, the only thing that's there is the What If Naruto Was a Hyuga Part 5. Happy Thanksgiving.
Alright, I'm gonna check that out. Guys, it's definitely gonna be up within the next 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
When this video is being uploaded. So, go check it out. Show your support and love. And sub to Lord Potato.
Potato. But yeah. Yeah, well, that's all we're just gonna do because after this I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little tired. I got to do something. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.